the map down in a pretty frustrating map to not close on. You had a great performance from Lucas. You had some good calls coming through from PKL. You had a lot going for you, and it still wasn't quite enough to close versus 9Z.
Or half, or eight, or
5-7.
7-5 half. Yeah, 5-7. Still, like winning Mirage on your T side must feel great. Feel like you get all the heavy lifting of the map over with. So yeah, it definitely feels like there's definitely a mental hurdle that they also have to overcome now on Overpass. Granted, they do get the CT side start, so if they want to get the ball rolling, start that conversation to move on to Nuke, then it's now or never, really. And Nines are going to take a slow approach to this first round of Overpass, trying to punish any sort of B aggression. But no plays being made on the A side means that we're pretty much just in a standstill until the execute comes through.
Yeah, this is usually one of those pistol rounds where you see Martinez and DGT get given a P250 and go work that A side, but without that, they are going to kind of, execute into a pretty tough defense right now. A nice crossfire that they've got facilitated, so we'll see if they have enough to break past it. So far, VSM says a quick no right there, and Sins will also peek to the sidelines right now. Che's in a great position with the dualies up close and personal as they dive through the smoke. There's a quick kill from DGT and Max, so some space created, bomb planted, and now they'll start the post plant here. Somehow have managed to make this happen.
And those short players can't get involved either. They want to run at PKL into CT. They get that kill, but then they've lost the sight. Now fights going all over the place. Zebi trying to get activated, and Lukowski as well, but they get nothing. What a round and what a play there from 9Z to punish PKL instantaneously and then swing back over to their attention to short side, never getting actually truly crunched in that round, and it makes their lives in the post plant much easier.
I mean, with the way that started out as well, they had to overcome a lot of adversity there. When you talk about VSM immediately sending one packing, and then another headshot, a dink, I believe, from the dualies was landed as well. So you're talking about being a player and 3/4 down right there, and you still managed to make it look easy. And the recovery in that 3v3, they quickly trade things out. I didn't think that was going to be much of a possibility, but not really shying away right now. I think that Fluxo know they can't give over too much in this first half right now. That's what I'm kind of feeling by this force buy. So with the quickness in which they try and recover this sort of lost pistol, we'll see if that risk pays off.
Definitely needs something to pull through. This time VSM will not get the tripwire headshot that he was looking for. And back into standstill. I mean, these plays from Fluxo can potentially lull them into a 5v4, but the longer this goes on, the higher the risk it is to continue keeping them around. And if DGT moves just even a little bit more forward, he's got 2 kills right on a silver platter. Can't actually convert the second, but the job should still be secured here as Che does eventually go down. Now Martineza thought would have cleared his angles there, but Lukowski upgrades to that Galil. And now there's a little bit of a window here for 9Z to make a decision. 30 seconds left on the clock. VSM left on an island here. Actually, PKL in the heavens. So 2 players to potentially deal with this B-side hit, and they've got to go now, 9Z.
Big flash right there, but a fight given. PKL tries to dive in and be a supportive element, but he quickly falls. Same case is true for VSM. I like the idea. They had a great smoke down towards that short side, but as that fades away, so do Fluxo's chances. And that high risk of going for the force by trying to sneak around early and keep 9Z limited on this T side, which I know is going to be part of their structure. It's going to be part of their goal, and it's honestly going to be a win condition for them. It is going to be nullified for the most part outside of the saved Galil from Lukowski and whatever he can do with it. And that's if he can even save. His Buddha is kind of hunting him down and will just zone in, targets him, and eliminates. And that is going to be a 2-0 start and full eco territory for the rest. I guess they could get some pistol upgrades, but not much.
They recover all the rifles involved in that round, and they get to eradicate the force buy outright from Fluxo. And, you know, we talked about that risk. We talked about trying to stem the bleeding as fast as possible, Fluxo. But now they're going to have to eat the pavement at 3 rounds and kind of cycle back in round number 4 when the guns come out. But things continue to worsen here for Fluxo, and I like these ideas of trying these gimmick plays, trying to get yourself involved in the 5v4s, but overall 9Z aren't biting for any of those kinds of plays. That they're playing as a pack, they're playing as a unit, and so far Fluxo have been kind of grasping at straws looking for openings, and there you finally have a chance, and Buddha just rips your head off.
A quick and easy right there. 9Z, you're likely talking about this 0-3 start on the T side. Getting off to a lot of early success. Again, some of it has to come down to overcoming some of the odds here. See if PKL can put up much resistance. Not quite. And VSM. Is that right on the other side of that door right there? I believe so. Buddha just spamming through it there. VSM gonna look to ignore him. And they're gonna be smiling at the way that this one already started.
Yeah, life gets really nice for 9Z. Fluxo and VSM was looking for an upgrade there, but all he gets is a Mac 10. He'll try to get something back. Gets the dink midair, but no frag considering the helmet on Buddha. 9Z retained 4. They have a bit of a bonus situation here if DGT wants to upgrade to, or sorry, just buy a Mac 10. Maybe have something a little bit more pacier here. I wouldn't mind that, but instead they're just going to toss the AK over to DGT. They'll upgrade, no problem. AWP out early for Martineza. And Fluxo and Zevi will actually have an AWP of his own right. So glad to see the big greens out early.
It's going to be necessary here. Zevi looking to do a lot of work over towards that A side with that op. Swinging for the fences though. Lukowski still confident as ever. Buddha quickly sidelined right there as he gets chased by Lukowski. That's a lovely way to start your opening endeavor, but really disrespected here right now. Max has some forward positioning. While Lukowski does great to open things up there, still a lot to be concerned about. Zevi still, though, has great coverage. Shadow spotted and quickly taken care of there.
Any chance for 9Z to potentially speed back up on that A side is ripped away. Zevi wants to go for more, and he'll get it. Double for him. Smoke up off of a divider, and 9Z are stopped right in their tracks. 2v5, and I mean, in all honesty, I don't mind the save to be called at this point in time. A 2v5 as a T-sided overpass team is just not possible.
Not at all. Not much of a chance there for sure. They will likely just wait things out for another 40 seconds. There you go. Great defensive effort there from two players we definitely need to see a lot of output on. Lukowski starting things off with a beautiful opening pick, and Zevi not shying away from too many duels right there. You can see he's clearing up a lot of angles and also being very willing to get aggressive on some of these plays, which is good to see. That's the sort of output you want from, you know, your cerebral rifle playing off your op as well. That sort of push and pull that they were able to bring in, of evacuating space but still covering their bases there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we all know how much impact the AWP can have on this map, especially on that A side. And when you can start to get a little bit more oppressive there, I mean, the defaulting just becomes much more difficult for the T's. They're going to have to start expending a lot more utility to cordon off some of these angles and to get into certain positions that they might have had easier if it was a worse AWP. So Zevi getting those 2 kills are so important to forcing 9Z to really respect their A-sided defaults and maybe lean to a little bit more short-sided plays on the B side instead.
That could be the way, especially if you know Lukowski's playing a good game so far and you want to avoid him. Targeting that B side could be the better avenue of approach here. Lukowski, look at this, getting set up for some aggression and already being able to punish there. PKL with the support. Lukowski with the knockdown. There's your start that you're looking for here, but much more required. Buddha covering a beautiful angle there, and that HE is a nice little sound cue, so Zevi not going to test his limits there, and PKL's already rotated over towards that B side.
Huge opening for PKL. I think Max thought he could catch a timing and transition, but does not live to tell the tale. 3v5, and again, huge deficits for 9Z to overcome. Still a manageable one, and that'll definitely help. The AWP executed from Buddha finally wins out that drawn-out battle here. And he's potentially getting offered up another one. Lukowski, fearless as ever, to get himself an upgrade and the 4v2. So any good tidings that Buddha brought previously kind of just gets ripped away yet again, and I think we're looking at a potential another save.
Could be. Outside of Monster, 30 seconds left. Not a lot of initiative coming through from the two remaining. Right there, I mean, I gotta give a lot of credit. PKL, he does get only one kill in this round, but responsible for two when you talk about that flash that Lukowski gets towards long. But then also starting off his round with the flash assist from long and then finding the kill on a short lurk just about 10 seconds later in that round by rotating quickly over towards that B side. So, I mean, love the sort of map movement coming through from the leader here, Fluxo, being able to help out and be responsible for the success of both sides of the map.
Yeah, playing like how Lukowski's playing can work in spurts, but if you want it to be a lot more consistent, you're going to need the flash to back it up. You're going to need that kind of teammate support to back it up. And, you know, you've seen the best players in the world. When you look at teams like Complexity on this map, when Elige gets activated, he's got JT to help out from him on the B side of things as well. So I love to see that IGL Star Rifler combination work out wonders here from Fluxo, and things look very good for Lukowski to continue to get these opening 5v4s.
It's a really good look so far here. Like the initiative that they're taking, but Buddha has been able to win out on a lot of these quick duels. Bit of a menacing connector, but eliminated there. Thereafter here, it's a nice flash setup. DGT able to initiate the trade, but still PKL stands on the site. Kind of the last man standing with not a lot of close rotates here. That Smoke Molly is going to buy extra time, though, and 9Z don't see a route in, so instead going to go ahead and back on off for now and play the 3v3 a little bit longer.
I like the pause from 9Z, not trying to get overzealous on this B take. The rotations have been swift from Fluxo and perhaps trying to bait out a bit more of a reaction here. My guess is that they're going to just pause until 30 seconds and then re-execute, considering they have no short control. They don't have an avenue out with connector, but this boost from Zevi could be everything to at least get themselves a man advantage before the bomb goes down.
Gonna give him a dry peek. Ooh, but it's just a leg shot there. That's two players confirmed with a molly in Max's hands. That goes in towards Pit, though, instead. Which is a bit of a surprise right there. And they're going to have a tough time trying to figure out a way to plant this bomb. Numbers finally being punched in. Martinez looking to cover off the bases of Graffiti right now as a short flank arrives onto the scene from Lukowski. Missed opportunity, though. Pete comes through for Martinez, but Lukowski, with some assistance from Max, will be able to knock down the last two. And Fluxo will tie things up.
Yet another round there from Lukowski on the short flank now. Big stuff from the Brazilian, and I think there was a world there where 9Z had a way in with Zevi only hitting the leg, but they just didn't have strong enough afterplant positions. They were trying so hard to get nestled in, but I do like the proactivity there from Fluxo to get involved as fast as possible as soon as the bomb does go down and try to catch players off in transition. And sure, there's a couple of missed shots here and there, but the idea is eventually trump the missed shots.
That's and again, another massive round. Lukowski's still playing good. I think this is going to be another key for their winning condition. Is that Lukowski has the same good game, but connector's already being pressed upon. Oh, there's a smoke there. That's the reason why they're so safe right now. Running through the smoke, running out of ammo. The Tech 9s are whipped out, and there's both A players hitting the deck with an op recoverable as well as a rifle. This gets out of hand quickly, and all of a sudden 9Z are on a man advantage, and panic starts to set in for Fluxo.
Got to be a big round here from the leader. PKL pressing himself up against the smoke, but isn't able to get any free kills prior to the site hit itself. The luckiest part here for Fluxo is that they don't have to deal with too many flashbangs, but the dry swings come through, trying to get information, and DGT punishes it. That's not an easy shot by any means. And now, in the 2v4, Fluxo have a decision to make. and I think it's going to be just a save and give away the A site. 9Z have gotten away with this half buy.
Absolutely. Again, that's, I mean, massive, massive opportunities right there for 9Z. You want to be winning out. You want to be capitalizing on some of that momentum right there, but losing out because a couple of players are pressed up a little too far on that A side and without a lot of recovery. I mean, just getting caught spamming a connector smoke. You're spamming a headshot angle, right? That's
right. Do you think that spam is a little overzealous? Because to me, it didn't feel like it was very necessary by any means.
That's a I'm hungry for my sweet eeks spam right there is what that was.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
That's just a mistake you can't be making here. I mean, I know Lukowski's playing one hell of a game, and we'll cut him some slack here. You want him confident. You want him making those aggressive plays. But again, when you're caught knowing that you got a chance to farm up some sweet eeks right around that smoke, and you spam 30 bullets straight through it, you have nothing left in reserve, it does make you kind of look silly, especially when that costs you the round.
And as soon as he goes down, I mean, the player beside him, Zevi, can't do anything either. I mean, sure, he might be able to get one kill for you at most, but that's an unfavorable trade every day of the week. And I mean, I think there should be an awareness that those Tech 9s can be dangerous. Now, Fluxo will have to understand that is a possibility moving forward. Try to rejig the setup. I still think, though, Lukowski should still be as confident as ever. Still should try to be going for those plays. I hope he doesn't shirk away from the opportunity because of a round falling apart like that. Because, I mean, the active defense here from Fluxo is defined by how active he is. So looking towards him to get a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more tempered in his aggression, but to continue said aggression regardless.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it is a surprising mistake to make, that's for sure. And I mean, you can make an argument to play a little bit more further back now that you're on an eco, but I mean, again, the ecos are really easy to mop up sometimes when you're playing in that front of bathroom position. Just not enough resources, not enough coordination, and definitely some just small errors that cost them dearly. That you don't have room for a lot of errors in this first half. You know, an economic collapse here. Fluxo run out of cash. That could spell a lot of doom for the second half because those T sides are strugglesome here. Talking on average of about, like, I think I saw 30%, 31% of T-side conversion, so.
Oh, not pretty. Not pretty at all. And 9Z already sitting at 4. Already starts to make you a bit hot under the collar, Fluxo, so a lot to try to build back in through. This is the round to potentially swing over that momentum for sure. And as the silence quells, Fluxo's efforts on the A side kind of come up empty-handed, and 9Z get themselves short. They get themselves the top of Monster as well. There's a lot of room to play with for 9Z as they try to burst into this B site.
Look at this jump spotting here. So much information from PKL. They're getting caught in transition right now, big time, but still holding steady. Che and VSM. A lot of timing there could have gone wrong, but somehow they managed to make that B defense look so easy between the two. Covering all their bases, and again, it's one of those 2v5s where I don't know if 9Z are going to have much more of a say in this one. Left outside looking in, with a couple of fights being given, but nothing too crazy. Martinez and Buddha now trying to figure out their route out of this round. How they want to save.
They should have a route out. I don't necessarily know how much of an impact that jump spot was, but it certainly gave them enough of an inkling to turn back around the short side and to turn back around to Monster straight away and make Che and VSM's job a little easier. But man, oh man, it's just a matter of mere moments. If that jump spot doesn't come through, maybe they don't even know the flashes are coming in. Maybe they don't play anti in that situation, and 9Z have some free entries. So a couple of minute adjustments the other way now for Fluxo, blessing them for that 4th round, and now back to the drawing board for 9Z.
That's a excellent defense right there. Like you said, some good info gathering coming through. But really good work in unison from VSM and Che to keep that one nice, safe, and sound. B-side has been sturdy. There hasn't been a lot of good options once the guns have been brought out here for 9Z. Right, we talked about trying to avoid Lukowski. Really only made one mistake so far. Meanwhile, this B-side defense has been very strong. Between PKL's quick rotations and Lukowski and... Or rather, Che and VSM being solid on the shots.
This time around, Lukowski wants to get stuck into the fountain side. A lot of heavy A presence, and that means the B side is a little under defended at this point. Che is now the only man left standing on this B site, and there might be some fast flanks, but Che's still got to hold strong for at least one more. And sure, I was going to say nearly had it there, but now the flanks are punished. Buddha, DGT, they all chime in, and Zevi's left empty-handed. Can't actually find a way back into this round. Trying to wait for some sort of a swing somewhere.
Oh.
And when it comes, he can't get the job done. DGT swings, and 9Z capitalize on an underhanded B site.
Yeah, I mean, just understaffed right there, big time. Like I said, I mean, PKL's quick rotations back in towards that B side have been massive in supporting them. But there you go. There's 9Z kind of capitalizing on the weakness right there, big time. Exploiting that lack of presence towards that B side. Kind of just crawling up catwalk. It's been something we've seen before a couple of times now, and it's something I thought was going to work out eventually. And finally, Fluxo kind of crack to the timing plays that 9Z have identified right there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, spending 3 players in that A offense doesn't really feel like the best uses of their resources, and because of that, especially them not getting any information off of that, makes it very difficult to overcome. And you can't expect your anchors to go huge, but VSM is going to get the job done there with the double. Lukowski tries to get cheeky through the smoke, and then Max punishes VSM for a little bit of an overextension as well. So sure, VSM does a great job to get the man advantage, but we're still in a 2v2, and 9Z have a lot of time to play with.
That's a dream scenario. You got a 2v2 with a full minute to work with here, and you know in the back of your minds there's so many gaps that you have to worry about if you're on the side of Fluxo, if you're playing on this A or B side, and they've got them split up pretty heavily here. Zevi responsible for the entirety of this A side. They're going to double up towards long, and look at this. Zevi's in the right angle.
Oh, wonderful swing onto Martinez. He can't get anything done. Barely has his gun cocked to potentially scope in and take him out. So now, information should be noted that Max is that remaining player.
And he's repositioned beautifully here. He's going to go ahead and fade back to try and play the 2v1. Takes that initiative in the 2v2 to find that quick kill, but beautiful reposition here now in the 2v1. Max, though, still has some time to kind of inch his way forward here. Zevi has the line covered, just about gets on it. That quick headshot out of Max's rifle. It puts it into the 1v1 in the Battle of the Brains right now between PKL and Max here with so much time to reposition and take this bank control.
Big play to play for the CT offensive side. PKL's got to really be aware with how much time is rotted off the clock that Max could be deep into enemy lines, and he is aware. So the IGL battle goes in the favor of Fluxo. Fluxo get that equalizing 5 rounds, and they just managed to dodge death. It felt as though Zevi had made the right positional play, but Max nearly pulls that across the line.
It's a beautiful pre-fire from Max right there, and the implications of PKL winning that round are so severe right there. That could have been 9Z breaking the economy, and for the last 2 rounds of the half, I mean, maybe Fluxo just forced by. Instead, they get Nop recovered. They definitely don't have all the tools that they could ask for, but put themselves in a much better position, and that's the sort of extra grace you need to have right now. When we talked already about the T-side struggles of Fluxo in the past, that is a real saving grace from PKL.
It feels like these last 2 rounds are a requirement for Fluxo and not a recommendation. Just considering when we do look at those statistics, things don't look very pretty. I love that spam there from PKL to finish the job from Lukowski. They've got another 4v2 here to deal with, and Zevi gets offered up a free one onto Huaso, 1v4 for DGT, and half the job seems to be done here for at least Fluxo to have a meaningful first half here on Overpass.
Yeah, some really strong work on the CT side. Some individual efforts sprinkled in the mix. There's some small mistakes that did cost them, but over the grand scheme of things, holding steady on this defense. Which is exactly what they need to do. Nice quick kill there. Make it a double. Oh, that's so much sacrifice on the HP.
Bomb.
And the bomb is so far removed. It's not a straight plant. That could be a hidden blessing, though. I mean, that does get a couple repositions from Fluxo, and DGT needs to have a opportunity to shoot people in the back right now, and maybe this long reposition could be just that. I mean, he's got Zevi sold down towards this B side here.
PKL's moved as
PKL
well.
on the B bomb site proper, so that A side is going to be awkwardly open for a split second, and that might be just what he needs.
He's got a plant for bankside though, and that's a huge risk to take considering you haven't been able to clear that out. There's a huge angle for Zevi to use here, and it's really a matter of timing. And I think he's got the. Oh, I thought he's had the cover down dead to rights, but there's the sound cue. That's what he needed, and 6 rounds locked in for Fluxo. A near opportunity there from DGT, but it's not enough. At the very least, a tie game for Fluxo at the half, but they'd love to secure themselves a 7th here, especially look at the finances. Things look good to fulfill that prophecy.
They do look very good there. If that bomb plant came through, that you could be offered up a little bit more concern, but without it there, they're wielding 3 pistols and a couple AKs there to back it up. We'll see what they can make happen here to try and close off the half. Struggles all over the map. Connector has been on lock and key with Lakowski's efficiency here. And look at the damage already done. Flashes do catch him, and this time he gets out, escaping successfully, playing off of his opper. But again, Zevi is left in no man's land, has to escape through long. The no-scope's connected here. Shotgun hopping coming through from Zevi, and he still stays afloat here. Wasso Peak is taking the timing in towards A, but a quick scope finally doesn't connect, and Martinez does get an op as his reward.
It's a big kill for Martinez at a pickup, but here's Che on the flank, and that should be all she wrote. Sure, Martinez has an AWP on the back of him, but not the easiest task to perform here. He does have a minute left on the clock, and he's got a smoke as well, so possibility here, but I like the buddy system being played by both PKL and VSM. Have room to play with, but 1v1's actually being offered up, and I say buddy system, and they immediately disassemble as I say that.
Split up and look for clues doesn't really work in the 3v1s. And Martinez has been able to win clutch after clutch on 9Z already. Could he cap off this half with one extra here? VSM, close angle, man. Not one that you'd think to clear here this late into the round. 20 seconds left. He does have to kind of kick it into gear. And as he waits, that makes it more and more confident that VSM is going to have a free kill on the flank. 15 though, and he's still careful. And now we're getting into the low seconds here. And VSM's already repositioned beautifully. And that'll do it right there. He'll cap it off. A nice little 7th round right there. VSM smart play coming through from him. And I'll give Fluxo 7 at the end of the half. We'll be back right after a break.
Your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, getting it up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out.
Making magic when they need it most.
Yeah, we are back there. Fluxo ending pretty strongly with a nice finish and a good CT side, but they've got to keep it great on the T side now and improve on some prior results of what they've shown us in the past to try and keep themselves alive. 9Z, on the other hand, eager to close this out in 2. And again, putting a lot of pressure on some of the stars to get things activated on this T side, I feel like.
I think there's a lot more pressure on this pistol than meets the eye. Sure, 9Z would be able to equalize, but these are 2 potential gimme rounds that Fluxo could get off the back to make their T side lives a lot easier. We spoke about the statistics that don't necessarily give them the best light, and it really does come down to getting those freebies from this round outright. So look towards Fluxo in this pistol round. Just try to have a smoke flash on the back of PKL, and that's about it. Contacting all across the shop and look towards maybe even this P250 from Zebi to crack open some long-range headshots.
This triple up on the B side is going to be very tricky to break past, so they're going to need some quick entries, and you're talking a singular flashbang to get you scaled onto that bomb site. So there's that smoke landing towards jump up, and again, it's going to come down to how effective this one flash can really be right now, and PKL holding on to it now. Quick kill out of Zevi, though, to kick things off. That's exactly what you need to break on through there. No reply just yet, but DGT finally able to fill the feed. Still feeling some pressure with that USP. Has to back out of the smoke and resurface up front, helped out by Buddha. Long range, and there you go. The combination effort comes through. It's all on Lukowski versus DGT here. The stars showing up, and Lukowski showing out there for an 8th round, saving them on the pistol and keeping things contained.
That's such a huge round for Lukowski. That 1v2 clutch. They leave it all up to him, and sure, the trades go awry. Sure, Buddha and Max are able to pull things back from 9Z, but the big man's had a hell of a series so far, and to get that pistol locked in really changes the dynamic of this best of 3. 9Z will double dip. They'll go for that force by Martinez on a glass cannon scout. And we talked about the amount of risk that these second round force buys bring in with the likes of Fluxo. Now the shoe's on the other foot. Another chance for Fluxo to maybe even get up to double digits. Oh, man!
See you later, Lukowski. Eliminated, and the collapse is coming through there. Max, good for the 2-for-1 trade there. DGT still set up in long. He's alone, though. He's on an island, but somehow managed to make it happen. Zevi can't control the spray, and Fluxo's days in the limelight here after the pistols last so little here, unless Jay can say much more in a 1v4. It's so impossible given the positions, but at least he has bomb on his back, and his position not yet revealed, but again, with the process of elimination kind of formulating without any vision on him, it's not going to be easy. They got a slow flank coming through as well in the form of Max. Covering the entirety of this B-side. DGT, gotta close it out. Confident headshot to finish.
What a round from 9Z, man. I mean, Fluxo had the right people in the right positions, but it's that overwhelming nature in connector. They try to bully through that Molotov, and they get punished instantaneously. It's Huaso, and it's Martineza to start off the proceedings off long side as well. I mean, it's just all-out aggression across the board on that A side for 9Z, and Fluxo just don't have any answers. Whatever goodwill Lucauzi was able to muster up for this team has been ripped away, and now they have to start at square one with some Tech 9s that, I mean, I honestly couldn't say can be that dangerous. Look at DGT, man, already cutting off the sight lines before they're even able to get up the connector.
Ooh, he's hunting Eeks, but he doesn't get punished. Not just yet. He gets out of there with nice 2 kills and just making sure he keeps his distance pretty healthy. Also, Peak also catches some pressure flying out of connector, so a lot of information granted here on the backs of 9Z and having no trouble damaging and keeping these pistols at bay. But again, textbook way. I mean, that's exactly how you want to use those MP9s, the way they used them in that last round, was those insanely wide swings, in which you throw the aim off, then you have another player, you know, peeking close with the pistols. It's near impossible to handle unless you've got a lot of presence on the other end, and the way that they were able to overwhelm that Fluxo squad, it's got to be infuriating.
And now to deal with this upgraded buy from 9Z with pots and pans, and potentially to give over a flawless round to 9Z in this circumstance especially could be a nightmare for Fluxo to overcome.
You gotta die.
Yeah, at this point you really do have to give away for the loss bonus. And sure, Zevi gets one. That's great to at least keep things tidy. Another one out to DGT. 13 seconds left on the clock, but there's a no-scope for Martineza. A little bit of overkill, but love the style. And 7 rounds for 9Z.
Not mistaken, they just dropped a couple of rifles there, and so, I mean, not a bad way to exit the round if you're talking about Fluxo, but, I mean, how much can we really grasp onto some of these small details, right? You're going up against, for the most part, a full eco outside of Zevi on the Deagle. The rest have Glocks and 9s. You're going to very likely tie things up off the back of this, and from that point, we're talking leads possible. Once you start to give 9Z the lead here on the CT side of Overpass, that is kind of where it feels like it could be doomed.
Yeah, you really have Fluxo on the jugular here if you're 9Z. Especially if you can go through this flawlessly. VSM does get the double dink. Upgrades to an MP9. And any more casualties wouldn't be the best situation here for 9Z, but they manage it just fine. They know where VSM is, and that might actually spread. They're spamming him through the side of the door, and he's not budging. But I think his days are numbered here. 9Z should be able to equalize the game no problem. And I mean, in my eyes, I see this following round number 17 to be a potential game-defining round. I mean, it is showing whether or not you have any T-side prowess, trying to get the ball rolling in terms of the economy, or does 9Z just roll all over you because they have the economic and the utility advantage? And they're going to call this timeout here to really get their ducks in a row, and I think they understand the gravitas of this round as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what I was going to say, is that they know that they're in that boat as well. They know what position they're in. They're no strangers. There's no fools to the situation, right? So putting a lot of emphasis on this round in particular here, just setting things up, calling in a timeout, making sure all their bases are covered, all the details are defined as they head into what is an absolutely crucial state in the game in a series. And their campaign, again, to talk about what is necessary. Fluxo, if you're this team here, you're making all these big moves. You want to be making it to these big events. You want to be making it to these S-tier, these pro leagues, these flagship events. And we already know the start so far to this year hasn't been exactly how they hoped. So will they be eliminated quickly here in this pro league qualifier as well?
Time continues to dwindle for this Fluxo roster, and it all really comes down to this. Can they hold strong and survive in this best of three alone, let alone the qualifier? Again, a reminder that this is a spot for Pro League, and it's single elimination, so no more extra chances should they fall to 9Z here. Martineza wants to grab the bull by the horns, and Zevi, his counterpart, goes down.
It's Bomb.
Great 5v4 to start things out, and yeah, as you said, Bomb being spotted. The default now very known on the 9Z side. Martineza can hold strong on this long side again, and he gets a 5v3 off of VSM. And now, what do you do if you're PKL and co? There's really no avenues in.
This B side you could maybe lean on a little bit, but then that still requires Lukowski to succeed. He has the cutoff. There's a big kill. A little bit of relief. 35 seconds though. You're still scratching your head. What do you do in this position here? Lukowski's trying to fight for this round right now, but that's a big frag from Max. That's going to put it into a devastating spot. That could be the kill blow right there as Bomb has to make the long reposition. He's finally recovered it, yes. But
Do you even have time?
15 seconds. There's definitely time, but that does... Yeah, I mean, you have to crack through two players with that time, and that's where the problem lies, and there's not a chance in this world, and they know it. They're going to call the save, and it fizzles out.
All that
Martinez.
preparation just gets eradicated by Martinez, man. The aggression to get the 5v4 and then the reswing as well to maintain the 5v3. I mean, that's just beautiful. And I mean, the protocols as well to make sure that Martinez is safe there. They smoke off long bathrooms, make sure that Max is watching it as well, make sure that there isn't a bluff being called by Fluxo. And it just works so beautifully there. That's the kind of play that you want to see from your Opper on your CT side. That's the kind of active play you want. And we saw that from more Lukowski's end when they were on the defense, but we never really saw that from Zevi. And Martinez really showing us how it's done here.
Yeah, just clinical. The composure in his opping is so clean,
Wow.
and he's going to pluck another one out of the server clean. PKL now watching from the sidelines. They get a nice half bite in this round. It's not completely empty-handed for sure, but definitely playing a man down here. Quick reposition. Martinez floats all the way in towards the fighter here, looking for more duels. The position, the scaling is good. Fluxo have some opportunities to create some chaos right now considering the spots, but again, Martinez so quick on the trigger. On the fly. There's that opportunity though from Che capitalized on.
It's a big kill to pull back for Che. It does mean that Martinez's life is a little bit more at risk. That shot missing makes it even more so. Che's got a chance to potentially wrap. Smoke to get the Spaniard out, but there is no real way to punish him here. Now DJT has arrived. It's a matter of timing, and Che cannot win it out. Now Martinez can feel a little bit more comfortable. Tries to jump around. VSM, a little lost in the smoke, finally finds an opportunity, gets the punish onto Martinez. Lukowski gets his on long. And now maybe there's a little bit of room to breathe, but there's Wasso. And there's the flank from Buddha, double 9Z. And Fluxo's days continue to dwindle.
I mean, I like the initiative there from Fluxo. I like the space taking. It's really smart to try and collapse on that A side that was definitely, I mean, there's some clear weaknesses, but quick rotations rolling on out there. They have their bases covered. And the way that they get that extra man into that A side to make sure that they cover the smoke play, they have still Martinez. Just the reason that they can afford the lack of presence is that he's good for two on the opening exchanges and still manages to find different ways to open up proceedings. This is another one. Mollied instantly off of connector though. Now there's Lukowski on the chase. No one there to catch him either. So a freebie for Lukowski traded back by Max, but Zevi's right in a position to reply. So the A side is mostly handled for now.
Needed more there for Wasso, but fantastic double swing there
Oh,
from Fluxo, and an outline off of VSM, and now it's his turn to get the spamming back and forth between the two squads. And as the dust settles, Fluxo still maintained the man advantage. Lovely trading here from the T's. And now, enough time, enough utility to safely take this B bomb site. Hold strong for just a little bit longer. and drain this economy slowly but surely. They're going to have to chip away in a couple more buy rounds, but it's at least the start of a conversation here.
Could be seeing a save. Maybe largely comes down to DJT in this position. I mean, clearing this offing on VSM is going to be one tough task and one that he might not be interested in. Smart to save. Play a disciplined game. You can also go and grab that op. I believe it's towards the top of connector, so they might have to make a little bit of a jaunt for that. But should be safe to do so. Fluxo, on the other hand here, finding, again, a little bit of vulnerabilities here. A lot of emphasis on the A-side aggression there, but Lukowski entrusted with that sort of forward approach. And what a blind side. But here you go. I mean, op is going to be recovered, but in the form of dropping Zevi. But Buddha also gets hunted. Now DGT going to pick up the op. Same case for VSM. So both teams going to end with an op and one less player.
I think 9Z are still very happy with that, not having to reinvest for Martineza, so he'll have all the bells and whistles he could ask for, and we are down to an expended coffer for 9Z as they go down to triple digits for 3 players, and a chance now for Fluxo to bounce back. A lot riding on this round as well, with their money also being in a little bit of a limbo. They want to try to get aggressive again on this A side. It's been a bit so-and-so not in terms of the actual results. And Max will toss that nade and get some good chip damage back away. And I think as far as 9Z are concerned, they can be happy with it as Fluxo move back into the B site.
Just feels like their A defense is super loose when it comes to the expectations of Fluxo. I think if you're 9Z, you're expecting these very slow plays, and that's just not the case. But faster approach towards this B side. They're getting ready to hunt it out of monster. Flashes just aren't connecting, though, and Buddha and Huaso Peak not blind at all. Still able to hold the line. Sidearm is out, and Buddha still defending, still standing. Lukowski left scratching his head as that goes nowhere. The flashes weren't even close either.
I mean,
no one blinded up.
The standard protocol there is, yeah, you'll toss that one sight flash, but you've got to have a flash over the top of monster as well. I mean, that is the standard protocol, because you know that there's going to be a potential player standing in front of that monster smoke or playing on the railing as well. And Fluxo's hit just comes down to some poor utility usage, and maybe they didn't even have the utility to use. I'm not necessarily sure, but that one flashbang is not enough, and it never will be if you don't have that monster pop as well.
Yeah, that's a shock right there. It feels like they skipped a step. Maybe they thought they had a read there of you know, kind of faking that early A presence there and having a little bit of that aggression, hopefully trying to get a rotate or two because of that, and then executing out towards B where you catch players playing more in the deeper angles as opposed to forward up. But like you said, it just feels like they jumped the gun there with one deep flash as opposed to, I mean, even if you only have one flashbang, you got to get your, you know, first things first. And right there you can see how easy it is for 9Z to play off that contact game. It's going to be a massive trade for them in the end. And 9Z put a quick into any sort of ground gain by Fluxo.
And with no bomb plan, Zevi and Che are now down to pistols. Things get real ugly here for Fluxo, and they're going to have to work with a limited buy if they want to hang on here. Again, single elimination bracket, a chance for EPL on the line, and you think about the schedule that Fluxo has before them, they would do anything to be having a trip to Malta on their docket. But 9Z have been a force to be reckoned with on the CT side. Martineza is charged up. EGT has had a hell of a game. Look at him just moving up the ladder at a minute 15 on the clock. Now he wants to move back into that B site. Will pretty much get away unscathed. He can toss that smoke away. He feels like it. Doesn't even have to throw the smoke. Getting to retain that is a blessing as well.
Ooh, but look at this. This is smart from Fluxo. They are kind of chasing all, but still he's got the info play.
Wow. That's so big there from DGT. He can spam all he wants. Doesn't actually connect, but now PKL's got to rally the troops back over to the A side. But look at this. Triple A setup for them to deal with here as well. Where do you go if you're Fluxo?
I can't believe DGT just turned around right there. That could have saved them this round. It was a great opening pick right there. But the fact that he goes that extra mile here and makes sure to hold on to the space is so massive. Now they're going to try and execute into a pretty stacked bomb site. The utility's good, though. This is going to give them some opportunities. Flashbang is what they need, though, to get on in. Owasso Peak trying to avoid it. But there you go. Some quick trades rolling on out. Buddha keeping things nice and level, nice and maintained here in a man advantage situation.
Ooh.
But overrun by Lakowski. On a quick trade, rather, by Zevi. It's still not going to be enough as PKL left last man standing. Good for one more, but it's going to be 9Z finding themselves on series point.
Ooh, and yeah, you're right. DGT only gets 2 kills in the round, but basically solidifies any chances for 9Z to continue on. And it's the jump spot, it's the safety that he plays in that position to get out unscathed in connector after getting the opening pick. And even in the final stages of that round, he's got the quick connector flank as well. So this guy is just all over the map, making Fluxo's lives hell. And sure, you know, you've got a bit of a buy here for Fluxo to defend against match point, but 9Z are cruising to an advancement to the qualification match here in the open qualifiers.
No question about it. Looking good to do so here. 3 opportunities to try and seal this one on in. Definitely not over yet, but again, 9Z are a tough team to try and, you know, force a choke. They're so good when they're in these positions ahead. They've already punished you once here. We're going to need to see Fluxo really dig deep right now if they want an opportunity to try and stay alive. They're looking to capitalize on some of the ASAT opportunities that have been given to them in the past. They're right in doing so, I would have to say, because as we mentioned earlier, sometimes 9Z can kind of play fast and loose with the amount of space and the amount of resources that they put on this bomb site.
And with Martineza already being pushed back to the A side, there's a chance here, and Martineza actually catches the top of the smoke. Zevi goes down with nothing, and a mere moment of a chance snuffed by 9Z. Che has got a little bit more of an advanced position here as well, but the smoke goes up on near perfect timing. Fluxo nearly gets the job done there, but there's the nade from DGT downtown. Hey, wait on a minute. BSM's got one, and now Buddha trades, and there's Max. And I thought there was another way for Fluxo back in, but it's just Lakowski. He's had a hell of a series, but this might be too tall of an order to overcome. Fluxo are going to be